Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Now that he's back in Port Charles, Lucky is just as good as Lulu. Laura is still missing as he undergoes last-minute testing to ensure everything is in order before the transplant. Ludicrous. Fortunately, Laura is scheduled to return next week, so we won't be without her for too long. I started to worry that Lulu would wake up before returning to the city. I'm eager to find out what kept them. Has Kevin misplaced his passport? We still don't know Lucky's outcome, and we don't know if he will be able to give his liver to save Lulu. That will happen on Monday, as I mentioned. I continue to believe that his liver will fail the test, necessitating Charlotte's intervention to preserve Lulu's life. It's the only explanation for Valentine's audacity to go back to Port Charles at this time. The scenes between Elizabeth and Lucky were amazing, particularly when she refused to inform Lucky about their kid because she believed Aiden should tell his father about their boy's history. I hope Liz will have a more upbeat plot now that Lucky is back, rather than one that is depressing. Lucky needs to be well soon. This week, we also welcomed a new Aiden. Even though Cassidy resembles Lucky more than the other two actors, he still seems a little too mature to be Elizabeth's youngest kid. I'm not feeling at all like a Baker with him. To be honest, he seems a little too cool to be Aiden. I sincerely hope that his character won't be completely rewritten. Given Brad's past unethical behavior, Miss High and Mighty Portia became apprehensive about him returning to work at the hospital. She ought to speak. She was obviously concerned that he would find out that she had changed Heather's test results. The situation worsened for the doctor when Ava spoke openly with Rick after he discovered that someone at the hospital had modified Heather's cobalt test results solely from General Hospital. It was funny and really accurate that she added, it wouldn't be the first time. Ava offered to assist Portia after promptly alerting her about Rick, without revealing that she was the one who had first told him about her. Even though I don't like Portia, I respect their relationship and their willingness to stand up for Trina. Even so, I still want to see Portia get exposed and punished for this, even though it appears that Ava and Portia may ultimately blame Brad for it. In relation to medical professionals, Van Hansis has returned to portray Lucas. I'm excited to see him as Lucas because I never saw him on As the World Turns. I'm impressed so far. Given that he has made it plain that he doesn't want to see Brad, who might be his next romantic interest? It appears that a new character may be needed unless the show manages to bring Felix back. Since Natalia is the only person we have left, maybe her estranged son will show up and start dating Lucas. Not that Natalia would adore that. Although Ava and Rick have a troubled past and some ill will, they are nonetheless incredibly enchanting together. Might their destiny extend beyond the traditional attorney-client dynamic? I have nothing against it. I adore that Carly is irritated because Jason is withholding information from her on his trip with Anna. Jason, keep that a secret. Neither does Anna appear to be interested in telling or kissing. It's possible that they will exchange pyrotechnics on New Year's Eve this year. The brightest thing to come out of that terrible African misadventure plot involving Lucky and Sidwell was Isaiah. He declared to Lucky on Friday's show that he would never operate on patients again. That is a story, indeed. Now that Jason has returned, Sam is at last behaving civilly toward him and sincerely apologizing for how she has treated him. Really? Right before her death? At school, poor Violet is the target of bullying. How could someone be unkind to her? Even though I adore Violet, this seems like a remake of Aiden and Charlotte. For Brooke, Lynn, and Chase, I would want to see a better story, hell, any story. But perhaps this one will catch me off guard. It startled me that the cliffhanger from last week, Ned finding out about Willow and Drew's kiss, was left unanswered. But again, this week's offerings were limited to 3, so why waste one on the other 2? Last week, I finally lost it over the fact that Sonny's cronies were all helping Alexis get away with his crime. Carly's decision to stand up and tell Sonny that they had to assist Alexis made me extremely happy. I was surprised to hear Sonny declare that if it came down to it, he would clear Alexis. How come? I want to watch this now. However, a few weeks prior, I conjectured that he may act in that way to save Christina, laughing that it would likely be the one instance in which no one thought he was at fault. That's all I have to say this week in terms of views, opinions, and forecasts. Post yours in the comments section below, as usual. The most recent General Hospital spoilers, covering events in Port Charles from Monday, October 7th to Friday, October 11th, can be found on soaps.com. As Laura returns, Lucky is finally reunited with his mother. Sonny has orders for Diane, and Jason and Anna decide it's time for a frank conversation. Ava is also going to have a run-in that can only be characterized as unpleasant. Lucas may be a different person, but his family remains the same. See if he pays Bobby's cemetery a visit today. Will Holly and Brennan meet for the first time when they do? Or do they have a history together? Because Robert keeps his word, you should heed his promises. Lois seems unsettled, and Chase and Brooklyn are left reeling from an unanticipated revelation. When Evan Hofer was forced out of his dressing room, his response might make you believe in people again. The reunion of Robert and Holly brings back memories of the past. Could fans of the couple receive their long-awaited reunion at last? Could the visit Sam pays to Alexis be the beginning of what actress Kelly Monaco previously called retaliation at its finest? Elizabeth can't help but worry that anything may be wrong with Lucky. Could it be that Lucky can't save Lulu? Or is this connected to the gems owned by Holly and Sidwell? Brennan receives some cautionary remarks from Anna. Mac isn't averse to expressing his opinions. What exactly are his 2 cents worth, though? Laura appears to be making her way back to Port Charles at last. Soap viewers have been discussing that Jason/Anna kiss for a time now. It's time for Jason and Anna to talk about it now. Be cautious of flying sparks when Carly meets with Brennan once more. Lucky knows exactly who to ask for assistance when he needs it. Sonny makes up with Christina. Hear what Lucky's actor, Jonathan Jackson, has to say about his TV mother as Laura and him get back together. Is Dante being silly to hope? Sonny is prepared to take action, which entails giving Diane the command to march. Michael tries his best to cause trouble in the interim, and Jason is feeling quite hesitant. Sonny takes a choice that could have far-reaching effects. Is it possible that he is going to confess to killing Jagger at last? Martin and Alexis are in the meantime deciding how to proceed. Anna wants to ask Carly a few questions. What happens when Brad confides something in Cody? Ava crosses paths with someone she would have preferred to stay away from. She should keep quiet and let Ava handling Rick, Ava advises. Portia worries that Rick will free Heather from prison. Rick calls Ava just at that moment. Joss solves a dispute between Gio and Trina. Violet gets into trouble at school, and Ava offers to assist Portia today on General Hospital. Chase tells Brooklyn that it's rather quiet at home. Tracy is out for a ride, while the children are at school. When Brooklyn receives a text from the school informing her that Violet is being sent home for picking a fight, the calm is disrupted. When they get Violet home, she tells them she attacked Garth because he's a cruel bully who lies. He called her dad an alcoholic, she claims. Violet claims she was telling her friends that her dad was at a special hospital, but Garth informed everyone that he was in rehab and a drinker. After she struck him, Garth doused her in grape juice, ruining her clothes. She told them the truth, and Chase appreciates that. Violet apologizes for hitting Garth and for her shirt. Brooklyn assures them that the stain will come off when they wash her garment. Violet needs to change, so they head upstairs. Brooklyn suggests Chase they should go see and talk to Garth's parents after she settles Violet. There will always be Garths in the world, according to Chase, and they need to educate Violet how to cope with them. Finn wouldn't want them to. Brooklyn concurs that Violet ought to be their primary concern and that this may be her scream for assistance. Violet apologizes to Chase for hitting Garth as she makes her way downstairs. While conversing with her, Brooklyn receives a call. Violet's guardian is to have an immediate conversation with the principal. Violet asks Chase if she will get into any problems in the meanwhile. Chase explains that there are repercussions for breaking the law. Rick searches the galleries for information about who at General Hospital could be willing to do whatever it takes to keep Heather imprisoned and interfere with the tests. Ava advises him against accusing anyone of tampering with the results because doing so will just cause General Hospital to file a lawsuit against him and prolong Heather's case. He wonders who at General Hospital she is guarding. Ava maintains that she is not defending anyone. This person must matter a lot to her since Rick won't force her to reveal the identity of the guilty individual, even though he now knows that she doesn't want him to know. Ava is concerned as he leaves, saying he'll have to find Heather another way to help. To visit Sonny, Lucky walks up at his office. Sonny feels his father would be pleased with him for what he's doing for Lulu as they embrace. Though they both know he should have been here the entire time, Lucky isn't so sure. Sonny claims that since Luke loved him and is here right now, that's all that matters and that Luke wouldn't judge him. Not just with Lulu, Lucky has a lot of work ahead of him. If he has seen Aiden yet, Sonny queries. Lucky says he's scared to, but he hasn't. Sonny informs Lucky that he must support his son no matter how difficult things get. Sonny points out that Lucky is at school, but Lucky claims he'll see him now. Instead, Lucky chooses to stop by General Hospital to see how Lulu and Isaiah are doing, knowing full well that this will happen. It feels nice to be back, he says, and thanks Sonny for the conversation. When Trina arrives, Gio is outside Bonnie's practicing his violin when she asks him whether he knows Billie Eilish. Why is he out here, she wonders. He claims it's a change of pace and that performing outside makes him feel like he's a member of a large orchestra that is constantly playing but that nobody is paying attention to. Although Trina is sorry that his performance and the gallery display had to be postponed, she would be happy to reschedule him. Gio must succeed. He is aware of her concern for Ava, but because of what she did to Christina, he will not work for her. With a harsh demeanor, Trina declares that she will ask someone else and that she will never ask him to perform there again. She goes inside. While seated at the bar, Trina makes a few phone calls to inquire about an online advertisement she came across and to find out whether the products are still available. Joss asks Gio, who she runs into outside, if he wants to hang out with her and Trina inside. Since they disagree over Ava, he believes it to be a horrible idea. Gio follows Joss inside after receiving an order to follow her. When they get to Trina, Joss tells Gio and Trina that it is not worth losing a buddy because of Sonny and Ava's problems. She advises them not to allow Sonny and Ava's misfortune affect them personally, but to let them ruin their own. As they settle in, Trina advises Gio not to play at the gallery, but she also doesn't want him to believe that Ava shoved Christina. Gio promises to play the gig at the gallery for her and let the judge decide who is guilty. Who says I haven't already found your replacement, she replies. He's shocked, and Trina would be glad to get him back because she acknowledges the one she discovered is a little dubious. When Lucas gets home, Joss and Carly discuss Lulu. Carly hugs her brother and welcomes him home, and Joss also offers him a hug. Joss intends to see him shortly but has to meet with Trina first. As Carly and Lucas settle in, she inquires as to whether leaving Boston was difficult. He claims it wasn't because he missed his family and was constantly at work. Carly knows that being in Port Charles is difficult for him, but she's delighted he's back. He apologizes for leaving quickly after his mother's burial. Carly asks whether he's game for this since she simply wants him to be okay. He claims this position is the universe's way of telling him it's time to return home because he jumped at the chance to work at General Hospital again when he noticed the opening for a trauma surgeon. Lucas is excited to be Willie's uncle even if seeing him will be difficult. He has already emailed Michael and Willow. If he has seen Brad, Carly queries. Lucas has no intention of doing so. But he's curious about what's going on between her and Sonny. When she queries how he knows, Lucas replies that Joss told him. She told him about Christina and Ava as well. Are you glad to be back yet? Carly asks, jokingly pointing out that's another mess. She is not yet off the hook, even though Lucas won't push her on Sonny. She will have time to concentrate on her story while he visits the hospital and completes some paperwork. Ava visits General Hospital and has a conversation with Portia in her office. Ava informs Portia that of the 4 tests that Rick performed on Heather, only their labs test revealed that Heather's cobalt levels remained constant. She claims that Rick thinks someone at General Hospital tampered with the findings in order to keep Heather incarcerated. "Who is someone like me?" says Portia. Ava acknowledges that she would kill to save her child if they were in danger. Since Trina is now at last looking forward to the future, Ava thinks Trina doesn't need to know what Portia did to protect her. She wanted to shield her mother, but she doesn't need to witness her career take a nosedive. Portia asserts that she is ignorant about the subject at hand. Ava claims she needs her assistance because it took her 3 minutes to realize Portia had manipulated the findings. What is in it for Ava, wonders Portia. All Ava wants is to keep Trina safe. Now that Brad is back in the lab, Portia sobs and says that she was only attempting to protect Trina as well, but that he might already be aware of her. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.